In this video, I'm gonna once again recreate anime scenes in SFM with Splatoon characters. One of my favorite videos to make, but also the weirdest. Like, how do you explain to someone what kind of video it is when you're not already in the community? Oh yeah, you know anime. I recreate scenes from it with Splatoon characters. Why? It sounds stupid, but it's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get into it. The first one I'm gonna recreate is Oshi No from Oshi No Ko, which, if you've been on the internet these past months, you've probably seen her at least once, considering you're watching this video as well. So first I had to pick out a scene to recreate, and I went with this one. First of all because I thought the background and the little stars would be fun to make, and it's pretty iconic. It shows her cool looking eyes and style in all its glory. So I started with adding just a regular inkling, making the hair the right color, and then immediately dabbled into custom textures. Because what sets Ai apart from the rest is her eyes. I first wanted to get the hoodie color right, but then recreate the eyes. No way, making eyes eye, that's a lot of eyes. Anyway, I also made custom eyelids as well, because if she's gonna have custom eyes, I might as well give her eyelids too. Even though she's not known for her eyelashes, I think it complements the eyes quite well, so I'm happy I did it. Then it was time to pose her. Luckily the scene I picked didn't have that advanced posing, it was pretty simple, just doing the peace sign and looking at the camera, though the facial expression is at least interesting. But the camera angle made it surprisingly challenging to make it look good. I thought it looked too bland when I made the camera exactly as the original. I tried my best but it didn't work out as I wanted, so in the end, I picked my own camera angle instead. Which, if you put on the nerd glasses, makes the poster not entirely accurate, but the nerd glasses off, it makes it look better. And after all of that, it was time to light the poster. If we look at the original, the lighting doesn't stand out as anything special. Making quote-unquote bland lighting in SFM look good is harder than I expected, so I tried my best to make it not too harsh or too boring. You can see how there are some pinker tones in her hair, so I tried replicating that. I also added some light from the stars I'm gonna add in later, which I thought was a nice touch. And then it was time for the editing. I started as usual smoothing out the model so it looks less low poly, and after that I went straight to making the background. I was first just gonna make the exact same symbols, but then midway I thought of adding Splatoon symbols instead, which I thought would be more fun, so instead of adding the animals, I added an inkling, the Splatoon 3 logo, and the Zekko logo because she's wearing a Zekko hoodie. And now I realize you can't even see what hoodie it is because I removed the logo. Oh well, it at least makes the background look better, even though it might not make sense. Then after that, I did color grading on her to make the poster pop more, and just look better overall. Then I added the two stars, which was a great addition. It made it look better and less empty. It makes it look more like it's actually I. And that's everything I have to say, but stick around because I'm gonna make one more poster after this, so see you after the time-lapse. Okay, I'm recording this now because I forgot to record it earlier. And if you can hear a fan noise, ignore it. It's very warm in my room, so I gotta have it. Sorry. But anyway, the poster. I'm surprisingly happy with it, because I thought it was gonna be hard to make this scene look good. Not because it's bad, I like the scene actually, because I like the stars, I like the background, and of course, so I wanted to recreate this one. But I was having doubts that the camera angle would be kinda basic, because it's only the shoulders and up, but it worked out. So you can see that I changed the camera angle slightly, so it's not 1-to-1, but hey, you can see what I'm trying to recreate at least. I added the stars, the eye texture of course, and also instead of these symbols, I added like the Inkling, Zekko, and Splatoon 3 symbols instead. And why the Zekko logo is because she's wearing a Zekko hoodie, though you can't really see it because I removed the logo, so it doesn't make that much sense, but hey, it looks good at least. So yeah, I'm happy with it. So let's move on to the next one. And now it's time to recreate Bocchi from Bocchi the Rock. And I already knew which scene to recreate because it was the one that made me wanna do another anime recreation video. Which scene is it? It's the cover art for the song Guitar, Loneliness and Blue Planet. Despite how it looks, it's probably one of the hardest posters I've made. Why? Well, we'll come to that soon. I started with trying to find fitting clothing. This time you're gonna see the entire body, so now everything has to match. With Ai, you could only see her shoulders and up, so I only needed a hoodie. But now I needed to find a similar jacket, skirt and shoes, and also make her hair accessory. I remember the ski jackets having a high neck similar to Bocchi's, so that's what I went with. The color was completely off, so I made a custom texture for it. Same with the eyes. I didn't go all out like with Ai, but I at least did the right color. The focus isn't the eyes, like with Ai's poster, so the eyes not having the exact same details is fine. Probably for the better even. Then I took the school skirt that exists in Splatoon and retextured it like with a jacket. And finally her hair accessory thing, I don't know what it's supposed to be. Either way, I used ice cubes to recreate it, which isn't perfect, but it works fine. And a tiny hair strand, or in this case, tentacle I guess. And then it was posing time. Even though it wasn't that hard, it was still more challenging than Ai's pose. Bocchi already looked a bit stiff in the original, which is probably intentional if you've seen the anime, but it also made it hard to not make it look too stiff. I tried to find a similar guitar, but I couldn't. Looking back, I could have made a custom texture, but the one I settled with doesn't look that bad anyway. It's close enough. Making Bocchi hold the guitar was quite tricky. I'm trying to replicate a human pose with a character that doesn't have the same proportions, so it looks a little weird. Specifically the right arm, but it works. Overall it's not bad. Then after posing, it was time for lighting. Remember when I mentioned this was one of the hardest posters I've made? Well, the lighting is why. It was incredibly hard to get the spotlight to have the same shape while also getting that harsh shadow behind her in that specific way. You can just see in the timelapse how many times I tried, but none of my attempts were good enough. So after trying a bunch of times, I instead went with just making it look good. It didn't have to be exactly the same, just as long as it looked good, it would be fine. Then after all that suffering, I finally get to edit the poster. You can see in the original that the camera has a fisheye lens. I tried doing it in SFM, but it didn't work out, so I did it in the editing instead. But still, it doesn't look that good. I wasn't able to replicate it. If I did too much fisheye, her head looked too weird and big, and too little would make it not noticeable. So I did what I could and I thought it looked okay. But then after that, it was smooth sailing finally. I did color grading, particles, slight glow, and so on. And that's everything I have to say for now, so see you after the timelapse where I'm gonna conclude everything. And now it's done! So this poster was surprisingly hard to make. I struggled with getting the right camera angle and lens and whatever, while not making it look stupid. I didn't want to make it too fish-eye-y. Looking back, maybe I could made it more intense, but it's good. I think it's alright. But the thing I struggled with the most, by far, was the lighting. Oh my god, the lighting was hard. Because the spotlight was really hard to replicate. The soft edges with the harsh shadow in the background and having like these multiple shadows. I would guess would be that it's multiple lights pointing at her. But dude, it was hard. I was not able to replicate that shadow. Does it look bad? No, I don't think it looks bad, but it certainly isn't like the original. I'm not good enough, but maybe next time I'll be able to. But the rest, like the colors, the graphics, and everything, that I'm very pleased with. I nailed the colors. Maybe the background is a bit too dark. You can see the chalkboard is lighter here than here. But the colors of Bocchi are very accurate. I wish I could have gotten the exact right guitar, but I wasn't able to. And also, if you didn't notice, instead of Bocchi the Rock song, and I'm pretty sure this says Kesoko Band, which, you know, their band, I replaced it with Bocchi the Inkling poster and Faloliver with the Inkling or Splatoon font. So overall, I'm very happy with this poster. I struggled a lot with it, and in the end, it was worth it, which is awesome. So if we compare these two with the ones I made last year, because I've made one of these videos before where I recreate anime scenes with Splatoon characters, and while they aren't bad, the new ones are noticeably better, not just because I picked better scenes, it's also because I think I've gotten better at SFM, so I've definitely succeeded with my goal for this video, so that's nice. I've uploaded these posters to my Twitter, DeviantArt and Instagram, so go give them a like, yay, awesome. And that's it for the video. If you want to see me make more Splatoon posters, I have many more on my channel, so go check them out. If you want to see me do this again, let me know down in the comments. And that's everything I have to say, so thanks so much for watching, and bye!